Hi guys, it's reading time. Today we are reading the book Little Miss Sunshine and the Three Bears. Little Miss Sunshine went for a walk in the woods, and because it was a lovely hot day, she decided to go for a long walk. She walked and she walked and she walked and she walked. And then suddenly the weather turned for the worse. A storm arrived with a great crash and boom of thunder. She ran and ran through the woods looking for shelter from the rain, which she found in the form of a cottage in a clearing in the woods. Look, the cottage. She knocked at the door. "Come in," said a very loud, gruff voice. The door led onto a kitchen. Sitting around the table were three bears: a big bear, a medium bear, and a little bear. On the table were three bowls of porridge: a big bowl, a medium bowl, and a little bowl. "We are just going to go out for a walk while our porridge cools down, 'cause now it's too hot," said the middle bear. "You can stay here if you keep an eye on our porridge and make sure that no one eats it." "Oh, thank you very much. I will," agreed Little Miss Sunshine, and the three bears left. They don't mind the rain. Little Miss Sunshine settled down to wait, glad to be out of the rain and the storm. Suddenly, the doors popped open, and Mr. Greedy barged his way in. "Mr. Greedy, what are you?" began Little Miss Sunshine, but before she could finish, Mr. Greedy spied the three bowls on the table. "Oh, porridge! I'm starving," he cried. But you can't eat that porridge," cried Little Miss Sunshine. Do you think Mr. Greedy listened to her? But Mr. Greedy was hungry, and of course he didn't listen to her. The first big bowl he tried was far too hot. The next medium bowl he tried was too cold. But that small bowl, it was just right. So right that before Little Miss Sunshine knew it, Mr. Greedy had finished it all. Mr. Greedy looked at the small empty bowl. "Well, that wasn't nearly enough for me," he said. "I'm off to find a bigger meal." And he left as suddenly as he had arrived. Mr. Greedy had hardly been gone a minute when the door was flung open a second time, and in stumbled Mr. Clumsy. "Hello, Mr. Clumsy. What brings you here? Why are you here?" "Oh, my poor feet. They're so tiring. I've been walking for miles. I need a rest. I'm so tired." And he went into the living room where there were three chairs. "You can't come in here!" cried Little Miss Sunshine. But Mr. Clumsy, well, of course he didn't listen, and he sat in the big chair. It was way too lumpy. The medium chair was too soft, but the small chair was just right. So right that Mr. Clumsy leaned back, but being his usual clumsy self, he leaned back and back and back too far, and with a loud crack, the chair broke. Mr. Clumsy jumped up and said that he had just remembered something he had to do very urgently. And he left. Poor Little Miss Sunshine. It's not her fault. What should she do? She looked miserably at the broken chair. What was she going to say to the three bears? Are they going to eat her up? It was then that Little Miss Sunshine heard a loud, gruff voice coming from the kitchen. "Who's been eating my porridge?" demanded the voice. Then the medium voice said, "Who's been eating my porridge?" And then a tiny, squeaky voice said, "Who's been eating my porridge and eaten it all up?" Then the three bears came into the living room. The big bear said. Who's been sitting in my chair? The medium bear went, Who's been sitting in my chair? And the little bear cried, And who's been sitting in my chair and broken it? The three bears glared angrily at Little Miss Sunshine. Not me, not me, she cried. Just then, the door flew open for a third time. It was Mr. Lazy. Ah, it's time for my nap. I need a bed. You're not sleeping in my bed, boomed the big bear. You're not sleeping in my bed, said the medium bear. And you're not sleeping in my bed, squeaked the little bear. Mr. Lazy's face fell because he was sad. You can come and sleep in my house, said Little Miss Sunshine. The bears were very happy to hear this, so Mr. Lazy and Little Miss Sunshine said goodbye and set off back to her house. However, as you know, it was a very, very long walk, and Mr. Lazy kept having to stop for a quick 40 winks, so it was very late when they finally arrived. Late enough for it to be Little Miss Sunshine's bedtime too. In fact, it was everyone's bedtime. Big Bear was in his big bed, Medium Bear was in his medium bed, and Little Bear was in his little bed with a teddy bear. Mr. Lazy was tucked up in Little Miss Sunshine's bed. If Mr. Lazy is sleeping on Miss Sunshine's bed, where does Little Miss Sunshine sleep? And Little Miss Sunshine was on the sofa. Poor Little Miss Sunshine.